Yes, hello, this is Danhausen here, very nice for evil, and you are listening to Bob After Dark. Subscribe or be cursed.
From Mothman and Nessie to the spirit that haunts your home, welcome to Bob After Dark, a podcast about legends, lore, and the supernatural. So turn your lights down and your volume up and enjoy your trip to the shadows.
Welcome to Bob After Dark, the show that takes you into the shadows and goes and says hello to everything that goes bump in the night. I'm your host with the most, that enjoys Toast Bob, and alongside me, as always, is my ever wonderful, ever vampiric, ever... You're not wearing your cape.
Oh, I know.
It's okay. It's St. Patrick's Day. You don't have your green cape.
It's not a green cape, no.
It's not a green cape. No. But forever normally the cape-wearing producer... My friend, my brother, my producer, Count Panic himself. Oh, hey there, Count Panic.
Yeah, hey, Bob. Yes, it's taking a lot right now to get on the air, but we are on the air, on the YouTube, I should say. So text your family, text your friends, say go to the WJLB 1230 YouTube page, and Bob After Dark is right there live right now.
Absolutely. And happy St. Patrick's Day to you,
Happy
Count.
St.
As we record this episode, it's actually St. Patrick's Day.
It is. Well, people aren't for a treat because you got a whole Irish episode planned, right?
I do not have an Irish episode planned at
No?
all.
The Leprechaun?
Here's the thing. Back in the day, Bob After Dark used to do something called Faelore Month, where we talked about a different Faelore creature. But I eventually ran out of Faelore creatures to talk about that would fill an entire show.
Okay.
Because then I'm starting to get into these Fae creatures that have like 3 sentences worth of like story. Are you taking selfies?
I got to promote us on the socials.
That's fair. We'll get to you in a second. But yeah, Count does. So we used to do the Faelore month, and last week we were supposed to do this episode.
That's true, yeah.
But we decided consciously because of the weather threats not to do it.
Yeah.
Just in case we needed to have the radio
tornado warning.
Yeah, in case
and we've been stuck in a storm before.
Yeah, we were the weather callers before.
People were tuning in to find out what the weather was.
Yeah. It's like, nah, we talk about ghosts.
Yeah. That wasn't a good night for us.
So anywho, and then we have a special guest returning to the Bob After Dark verse today.
But the returning guest would love to talk about leprechauns, I feel like.
Why are you giving me so much
I'll let
problems?
him do it. Then.
Why are you giving me problems?
I'll let him give you problems.
Are you going to give me problems? Okay, so anyway, joining us is our co-host on the show once in a while. It's professional wrestler, pro wrestling superstar, paranormal enthusiast, and investigator, Steve Micheals himself. Oh, hey there, Steve.
Oh, hey there, Bob. And if you've seen the Leprechaun, give me yay.
Yeah.
Yeah. I appreciate that was your reference today. I did a quick write-up in the Paranormal Chicago page about the Mobile, Alabama Leprechaun today. And it makes me happy because that's one of my favorite paranormal stories of all time.
It's fantastic. We should do a show on it, Bob.
I did a show on the Mobile, Alabama Leprechaun. This was pre-radio days,
or
pre-podcast days.
So anyone listening probably has never heard it. So you got 2 options here, Bob. One, we can do a whole new show just on leprechauns, or 2. We can just re-air that, and no one will ever know because it's the radio.
It's a little late now.
It's the radio. I'm just saying. No, they won't have to see the video.
We'll slap it on.
Why do you guys hate me?
It's good to be back.
But I think what Steve was just trying to say, too, in the grand scheme of things, leprechauns are cryptids in a sense, right?
They're Fae.
Fae. But it's kind of sometimes...
You're splitting hairs here, Bob.
Yeah.
No, Fae and cryptids are 2 separate entities. Cryptids are cryptids, Fae are Fae.
So what if Bigfoot with wings? What would that be?
Yeah.
That would be a flying Bigfoot.
Okay, so but
not all Fae
fairy
fly.
wings.
Not all Fae fly.
Interesting.
But
some Fae are horses.
They're horses.
Yeah, there's horse Fae.
But how do you
Kelpies.
what's the line between Fae
Mr. Ed? Is Mr. Ed...
Mr. Ed would be a cryptid.
Oh. Okay, well, we're going completely off script on this.
Mr. Ed is a talking horse, which would mean that he has supernatural qualities to him.
Do not fays also have supernatural qualities?
Yeah, but fays are like a spirit more than they are like a cryptid.
Well, how do you know there's not the spirit of a dude in the horse? It was never explained on the show, Bob.
It was explained on the show. You weren't there that week.
What was
the
it? You were there? You were there on the show, on the Mr. Ed show? you were right there just grooming the horse? That's a good fae.
No, Mr. Ed would be a cryptid. There's a difference between cryptids and fays, Steve.
I guess I missed that episode of Mr. Ed where they clearly explained
we should do an episode of Mr. Ed.
For the three people out there that know what Mr. Ed is.
We're gonna have a banger of a lineup in the next couple of weeks. We're gonna have an old episode about leprechauns, and we're gonna have an episode about Mr. Ed. We've reached the pinnacle, Bob.
I need you to know that we are on an upswing. Like, we're at the highest amount of listeners we've ever been at in the Bob After Dark history. It's been like steadily great for the past few months. And I just need to point out that people are going to listen to this and be like, what is he talking about? Because people are listening to like the newer episodes. Like, first off, they don't know who you are.
Yeah, well, if they don't know, they should know.
Yes, but you're over here being like, Mr. Ed, is he encrypted? And they're going to be like, why? Where did Bob After Dark?
Look, man, I'm just asking the questions that the people want answered. Okay?
I think
I'm
you're
sorry
the only
if I'm
one,
being too real for this show.
I think you're the only one who wants to know if Mr. Ed is a cryptid or a fake creature.
I think, do you know what? I don't, open up the lines, Panic.
Well,
if you think Mr. Ed is a cryptid, we need to hear from you because I believe he is.
And that's a good point that you bring up, Steve, because the phone lines are open, 219-845-1100. Also being on YouTube now, I know Heather chimed in. We also have the Faded 01 says, love the belt, awesome plate design from the Faded right there.
Thank you. This championship.
We'll get to that in a second.
Well, I mean, okay, do you know what? It's your show. It's okay.
We have.
No, do your thing.
Thank you. Because my whole plan
Mr.
was
Ed's a fairy.
My whole point of this was to do the introductions. You threw us off the rails. I have a whole show planned.
That's what I'm best at. Bob.
I understand that. I have a whole show planned. I have a strategic thing of being like, oh, we introduced you, then we do Count Panic's Weekend Update, and then we get the Steve Micheals update where you shove a lot of weekends into like a couple minutes.
Okay.
Which would explain what the belt is.
Okay, well, it's your show. I'm just a guest here.
You're the co-host. There's a day.
Okay,
you're not really a guest.
Well,
you're not really a guest as you are a co-host.
Look, I think it's very clear that for this episode, these listeners need to really buckle in because they're going on a roller coaster ride.
Okay,
tonight.
let's get Count Panic's Weekend Update real quick.
Yeah.
Have you been celebrating St. Pat's Day all weekend?
St. Patrick's Day, what did I do? It's kind of a... Man, Bob, you put me on the spot here. Well, I was,
put you on the spot.
I was working some at the what vampires do in their daytime period as well. Well, sleep as well. But you know what? Again, we're kind of in the thick of it, right? St. Patrick's Day, the veil is at its thinnest, and it's been a good weekend so far. And a lot of great options for corned beef and cabbage. Did you have your corned beef and cabbage today, Bob?
You know I'm a vegetarian, so I could eat the cabbage and veggies out of that.
You could have cabbage and cabbage.
No, I'm good.
No.
I like cabbage to an extent, but not in that regard.
Okay. But you still take part in the festivities today.
Yeah, I suppose. Today I didn't even... Normally I am a little bit more all about it. Today I had to run Mom to the doctor and run her on some errands, and my brain's just been slowly playing catch-up since that.
Did you watch Leprechaun at least? The movie
No,
Leprechaun?
Normally I'll throw on Leprechaun. Maybe I'll do that tonight when I get home from the show.
You could stream it, right?
I think it's on one of the streaming platforms, I'm sure.
Well, you could, review it, right?
I did review the Leprechaun. Yeah. It's on the YouTube channel.
What's your favorite Leprechaun?
My favorite?
Yeah. I don't mean like Mr. Ed. I mean like what's your favorite Leprechaun movie?
From
Leprechaun Back to the Hood.
Solid.
It's actually a really decent
Not the Hornswoggle one.
No, the Back to the Hood's actually a decent horror comedy.
Should have had a Hornswoggle on tonight.
I'm serious.
We should have. That's poor planning, Bob. We could have got Hornswoggle.
Do you have access to interviewing Hornswoggle?
I do.
He's probably booked a lot today, though.
You didn't ask.
Anyway, so did you have a good weekend, Count?
I did, Bob.
Excellent.
Yeah.
All right, now let's play Steve Micheals Catch-Up.
It's my favorite game.
Okay, you have a couple minutes. What's been going on with you since the last time we've seen you, which has been a while?
Not much.
Okay.
Yeah, you were expecting.
Why do you have this belt with you?
Oh, I can talk about this now? I can talk about this championship now?
Yeah, you could be like, "Whoa, hey!"
I can talk about my
Yes.
Unified World Championship
Yes,
that I
you
won
could-
from Hawaii.
Okay.
The first Chicago wrestler, this is called transition, Bob. The first Chicago wrestler in the history of Hawaiian and Polynesian wrestling to have won a heavyweight championship in Hawaii. I'm the first. Steve Micheals. And that's what this gorgeous championship is. I'm going to become a belt collector. I'm going to get more. I've already had a defense locally here in Joliet. Amazingly, this will blow your mind. Defended a Hawaiian championship in a Chicago company against an Alaskan wrestler. Crazy. Yeah. There's a lot of coordination in that one. But have defended, going to be defending again very soon. We'll talk about that at the end of the show. But yeah, I've been traveling all over. Just came from Boston.
Would you say that you shipped off to Boston?
I did. I shipped off and shipped back to and from Boston.
Yes.
Had a great time out there. With Supernova Wrestling, fantastic company.
That's
great crew. And what happened to be out there for the St. Patrick's Day parade.
Yeah.
Got to witness. I've been to the Chicago St. Patrick's Day parade. Witnessed that one many times. Got to see the Boston one.
That's cool.
A lot more drunk people in the Boston one than the Chicago one.
That's surprising.
Which is surprising.
Yeah.
They went hard. Forgot how big of a college town Boston is, and that's what did it.
Yes.
Fade and Heather both showing their love for Halloween 3 Silver Shamrock.
Oh boy, yes.
That's my
6 more
favorite.
days till Halloween. 6 more days till Halloween. Silver Shamrock.
And we're off YouTube now.
What?
Well, you sang the song.
It's a song from the movie.
That's a cover. It's a cover.
That's a parody.
It's my hot take. That's the best Halloween film. Is Halloween 3.
You have the most random water bottle this week. The Milwaukee County Zoo.
Milwaukee County Zoo.
Are they sponsoring the show?
I not that I'm aware of, but it's a good water bottle. I like to help protect the environment. I'm a big fan of zoos, and this is a good.
Are you following that monkey? Punch the monkey with his stuffed animal.
Oh yeah,
he's a viral sensation right now.
That's great. I
From
just
a zoo. I forget what zoo.
Yeah,
Japan, I think.
Yeah, he's got his little monkey, and I just saw today that I was mad I didn't see this the other day. Apparently, the New England Aquarium, which was right next to the hotel I was at last night, has a seal that has rubber
duck
duckies.
Seal, yeah.
That it plays with these giant rubber
We should get him on the show.
We're
not a variety show. We talk about ghosts.
I know, but like animal segments would help us out sometimes.
It would get views. People love.
Can you imagine
animals.
just a segment where animals mess with me with a seal kicking a beach ball at my head?
Yeah, I've seen Carson.
Yeah, you're the new Carson.
Well, that's a dated reference. I could have said Leno. I could have said Letterman. I could have said Conan.
But to be fair, the Carson was featured in Home Alone, which is watched like every year by millions. So I think Carson's a little bit more recognizable than the others.
That's true. I just feel like, even like as a kid, I didn't see Carson was even before my time of watching stuff. So, that was a weird pull on my part to go with Carson.
That's fair.
We could steal his Karnak bit because God knows he's not using it.
Can we go back to the show now? It's 15
This
minutes.
is the show.
This isn't because because if this is your first time,
we were doing.
If this is your first time ever watching or listening to Bob After Dark, we are your weekly show where we talk about legends, lore, and supernatural, things that go bump in the night, lights in the sky, weird cryptid stories, and of course Count Panic's favorite Irish drink to have on St. Patrick's Day.
I'll do the alcoholic and non-alcoholic. I mean, Guinness is right the standard.
Yeah, that would be your...
Or the Green River, right, Bob? You go get a Green River.
I have not had a Green River in like 20 years.
That's my St. Patrick's Day one. That's a good St. Patrick's Day drink.
No fan of Harp, huh? Not a fan of Harp?
No.
Guinness is the way to go?
Yeah, I mean, everybody has their, Jameson. Some people like Jameson. Some people...
Yeah, it's fair.
Yeah, James.
What's it?
All right, what's your favorite St. Patrick's Day drink to have, Steve?
It's the same drink that I drink every day, and that's Malort.
Is that that's Irish?
It's whatever you want it to be. Really,
it's Swedish, isn't it?
Who cares? Once you start drinking it, no one cares.
I think Malort is Swedish.
It just keeps
wrong.
people away from you in the bar.
I want to ask. I'm serious about that. Do you like the taste, or you just like it because it's? Some people do it for a dare, like you're gonna dare.
No, we legitimately.
I legit love the taste of it.
No, we legitimately will. Steve and I will go out go have a drink, and we will order Malort.
You like the taste?
Yeah, legitimately, I will drink Malort willingly. I'm fine with it.
I enjoy the taast. I've got a friend Lance who makes custom Malort flavored like Malorts.
Malort flavored Malorts.
Yeah, like he makes like. Puts peppers in them and like does pepper infusions and stuff. But Bob will tell you, I keep a bottle of Malort very handily ready on my bar in my house.
Someday I'll tell you guys about Malort because it is.
That's
an episode.
That's 3 weeks from now. That's after
Punch the Monkey.
If you drink enough Malort, you will definitely have.
You'll see
problems.
leprechauns.
Yeah, we got a caller.
Now let me put the phone lines up because there should be a caller on the line here. You got your earbuds in there, guys.
Yes, I have my earbuds in.
Okay, you got your earbuds in, so that's a good sign. We're gonna see if this caller is here. Caller, you're on the air.
Hey, Steve.
Oh, hey there.
Let me turn him down a little bit there.
Why'd you just steal my line?
Because he addressed me first.
Okay. Can you hear me?
I can, yes.
Oh, hey there, Bob. I'm sorry. I didn't. I know it's your show, but I haven't seen Steve in a long time. And boy, you gave him a lot of blarney. You asked him how his days or weekends are going, and he gave you a little update. And then you said we're 15 minutes into the show already. You yelled at him.
Yeah, it's crazy, right? And he
That's a fine
wonders why I'm not
idea,
here all the time anymore.
I think John would like a Mr. Ed episode too.
John, do you want me to talk about Mr. Ed?
Oh, you mean the horse?
Yeah.
You talk about the talking horse?
Yeah.
Apparently, it's paranormal, John.
Okay, here's the real question. And would you consider Mr. Ed more of a fairy or a cryptid?
A fae.
Okay, splitting hairs, Bob. A fae or a cryptid?
Like Bigfoot
or like a cryptid like Bigfoot or a fae like a leprechaun?
I would say more. I would tend to lean more to a cryptid, like a Bigfoot.
Yeah.
Okay. All right. That's fair. All right. There's one for cryptid, Bob.
Yeah. So anyway, it threw me off just being on YouTube tonight because I know there's basketball on. But so I thought I'd just chime in and I'll listen to what you guys got to say. And nice to see you again, Steve and Bob. Always a pleasure to give you a call.
Well, thanks, John. We appreciate you as always.
It's always great hearing from you, and it's always great to be back here at this desk.
Yes, even though this is your first time
you guys have a good evening. I'll continue listening. Have a good one.
Thanks, John.
Thank you.
All right.
Guys, do you want to be like John and call in? Our phone number is 219-845-1100. Is Mr. Ed a cryptid or a fey creature? Can't believe I'm asking that question to my crowd. I'm going to get emails question. About this.
I'm sure you will, Bob.
People are saying the show is full of malarkey, right?
It's the great momentum.
We haven't even started.
The momentum of where I've been has just crashed completely. The people who've been tuning into the show being like, let's talk about paranormal. Let's be really excited. Steve comes back 1 week and it's Mr. Ed.
Bob, I just like to keep it exciting. I like to mix it up. I like just, honestly, I enjoy throwing you off your game every now and then.
Now and then, or all the time?
Yeah, I mean, look. I mean, you're so regimented. You got everything on your phone, on your computer, and I just like to throw a little monkey wrench in every now and then.
Okay.
See what happens.
So can we move on with the show now?
Is Flipper a cryptid too?
Flipper is just a really talented dolphin.
What about Darwin from Sequest?
Darwin from Sequest is just...
He talks.
Can I get back to the show?
Yeah, it's your show.
Okay, just making sure.
It's your show. Do what you
All
want.
right, so if this is your first time ever watching or listening to Bob After Dark, we are your weekly show where we talk about legends. I did this bit.
Well, Chuck Pullen says you're full of Marlort.
Full of malort.
I will be when I get home.
Okay. Anyway, we did that bit already, but we split up the show into two parts. The first part of the show is the weird, spooky news of the week. That's where you, the fans, and me, the Bob, go scouring the internet for the weird and unusual that's breaking in news. Anything from the strange and unusual to weird advances that borderline on science fiction, making it into major media, or whatever else just kind of catches the fancy. And there's been some news lately over the past couple of weeks, because we don't do the news segment all the time these days. Yeah. It gets really hard to find news stories every week after all these years.
Overlap sometimes.
Yeah, but that's interesting
You
because
got a cease and desist from coast to coast, didn't you?
no, Tim Binnall just sent a skull to my house, and I'm like, oh, what is this for me?
So it's a lawyer with just in like a hood.
Can you imagine what's coast to coast? This lawyer. It's this chanting, like, weird monk creature shows up with a cease and desist letter.
But he still has a tie on.
Yeah.
It's a tie and a briefcase.
All right, so over the past couple of weeks, there's no time. And this article comes to us from People Magazine.
Wow.
And I'm going to tell you why I'm using the People Magazine article, because it was the only article that I could read without paying for a subscription for. Because every local newspaper to this neck of the woods in Ohio all required payment for their article, which I get it. But for like me, I'm like, I'm only going to use this one time unless you somehow cover paranormal topics every week.
Yeah. I'm a big fan of supporting like old school media, clearly. And
Yes.
But I'm not paying for, middle Ohio newspaper.
Yes. So are you talking from People Magazine today? This is written by Carla Marie Sanford. Ohio town is buzzing after multiple alleged sightings of mythical Bigfoot. The last cluster of reports occurred in Ohio was in the late 70s when alleged Sasquatch being dubbed the Minerva Monster. Here we go. Not since the late 1970s, Minerva Monster has been, Ohio residents have been so enamored with the potential of Bigfoot sightings. Recently, a flurry of social media posts about alleged sightings of a massive beast have left residents in Portage County, Ohio on the lookout for infamous Sasquatch. 10 individual people were like, yeah, I was walking my dog when I saw a big creature with a musty odor and it ran, Portage County Sheriff Bruce Zelinsky told the local CW affiliate WOIO in early March. People have reached out to the Portage County Sheriff's Office and the Gardensville Police Department for latest updates on an official reported sightings, but did not receive a remark. Reactions to the reported Bigfoot sightings range from sincere to skeptical. Jeremiah Byron, host of the Bigfoot Society podcast, believes the claims and told local Fox affiliate WJW that it is not normal to have this many sightings this close together, which he's correct completely. Byron cited several reports, including 2 friends hiking who spotted a 10-foot Sasquatch and a man who took his dog out at 4 a.m. local time, only for the dog to seemingly be startled by a large shadowy figure in the wood line. The Bigfoot community is extremely excited because we thought we'd never live through anything like this again when there's a massive amount of sightings in such a short amount of time, Byron told WJW. Others, like local chiropractor John Bernowski, have enjoyed engaging with posts but don't seriously believe that Bigfoot exists. There as a joke, we put on our Facebook that he did arrive at the office while I was at lunchtime, and was seeing a couple patients while I wasn't there. Bernowski told WOIO. Other businesses like Solid Rock Auto Group and Garrettsville Cinema have similarly gotten in the fun by posting edited photos and video depicting Sasquatch in town. Regardless whether you believe in Bigfoot or not, the figure remains relevant in pop culture. Most recently, documentary filmmaker Mark Evans produced a film debuting on SXSW that he said it proves finally that the famous Bigfoot on film of all time is nothing more than an incredible hoax, talking about the Gimli film.
Yep.
Yeah. So that's the story, which, by the way, that's we got to do a review on that documentary because it's making a lot of buzz.
That's my story.
Oh, are you going to talk about the documentary?
I am.
Have you seen it?
I have not.
Okay, all right. So, first off, hashtag panic stick, because we haven't had one of these in a long time.
And before we do that, Don chiming in here. Sup, Steve? Don Too Faithful. Sup, Steve? Mr. Big Bear.
What's up, Don? Glad to have you tuning in.
And yes, thank you, Don. And Bob, back to your story there. I mean, again, so much of Bigfoot. Who are we to know what to believe, right? I mean, everybody has opinions, and some people are saying this is all hooey, but why can't it be true? Why can't there be multiple instances of Bigfoot at
10
once?
sightings of Bigfoot in just a couple days time.
Why can't they? Yeah.
That's a lot of Bigfoot sightings.
Well, but who are we to say it's hooey?
I'm not calling it hooey, but I'm just saying that's it's a lot of Bigfoot sightings.
Maybe they want to be known.
All right, Steve, what news story do you have for us? Or
Do you not want my
okay,
opinion on this?
Okay, fine. The hashtag Steve's
Steve's
take.
rude.
It's not rude. I just figured that you had a news story you wanted to tell us.
I do, but I mean, I have opinions on other things besides what I read, Bob.
Okay, Steve, what do you have an opinion? What's Steve's take?
Are you sure you want it? Are you sure you want my take?
Yes.
Okay, I'm just checking. So my take on this is, look, 10 sightings is a lot, right?
Yes.
That's especially for a Bigfoot sighting, a Bigfoot, a rash of Bigfoot sightings at 10 within a short amount of time is crazy.
Yes.
So it's a little bit harder to dismiss it as, just the hashtag hooey. You know what I mean? But who knows what it could be? I mean, they could be mistaking a giant bear. There's bears in out there in Ohio, and it could be a bear. It could be a lot of different things. Who's to say it's just not a giant talking horse?
Could be Mr. Ed. What if there was 10 Mr. Ed sightings in 1 month?
I'm sure the horse that
I would be going straight to Ohio if there were 10 Mr. Ed sightings in a month. I'd be like, Bob, I'm going to call in live from Ohio.
Live from Ohio.
This is Steve Micheals. I'm here with a shotgun. I'm out in the middle of the woods looking for Mr. Ed.
Why would you do that, Mr. Ed?
All right, Steve. Do you have a story you'd like to share? I'm excited because you normally don't do this.
I normally
for the
don't.
fans that listen to the show that don't know Steve. Steve never comes prepared.
It's true. I like to work on the fly, Bob.
Yeah, like Steve, I'll tell Steve, hey, I'm doing this topic, whatever. Steve, like, yeah, I really like that topic. I'll come on and not be prepared for any of it. And
I think it just feels more natural to just kind of go with the flow and just see where things lead me.
Yes, like the long ago episode of the Davy Jones Locker when you showed up with the biography of Davy Jones, the singer of the Monkees.
That was a legitimate mistake. Anybody could have done that.
Davy Jones Locker during Pirate Lore Month.
I thought, look, it's not my fault they both have the same name. The singer from the Monkees and the guy from Pirates of the Caribbean both share the same name. That's not my fault. Okay? I will say when we did the episode on A Christmas Carol, that one I did mess up because
You looked at me in pure shock and horror.
I misunderstood what the plan was for that episode, where I thought we were just going to talk about, what the different ghosts were. Not that I also needed to Cliff Notes the entire Christmas Carol.
You were the only one out of 4 of us that didn't do it correctly. And he just looked at me in shock and horror.
That was the first time I legit really, really messed up. I'm grateful that I am very familiar with Gonzo as Charles Dickens.
Yes.
So I knew enough to kind of go through that. But, this time I saw something interesting, and I was like, I'm going to blow Bob's mind tonight.
And there was 2 Marleys, don't forget, as well.
There was Marley and Marley.
Jacob and Robert.
Yeah, it's always a Robert.
Where does your news article come from?
My article is also from People.
People Magazine getting 2 shout-outs today.
That's the new cryptid source.
That's great.
If you would have told me they're going to be my new coast-to-coast news source.
They're done with Brad and Angelina. They moved on to cryptids.
People Magazine is the new Inquirer.
Yes.
Next week it's gonna be an article about Bat Boy.
Bat Boy.
It's gonna be crazy.
We never did Bat Boy.
Yes.
So my article is the famed 1967 Bigfoot film was an, quote, incredible hoax, unquote, says the director of a groundbreaking new documentary. The new doc, Capturing Bigfoot, offers up some startling new revelations behind the story of Sasquatch, thanks to film footage locked away in a safe for decades. This is a story by Johnny Dodd. So the article says, documentary filmmaker Mark Evans, Mark with a Q, had a hunch that one day he might tackle the topic of Bigfoot, but he had no idea that he'd end up creating a film that could end up debunking the mystery linked to the creature that's lasted 59 years. His groundbreaking documentary, Capturing Bigfoot, which premieres, it's already premiered at the South by Southwest Film Festival, provides startling new evidence, he says, that finally proves that the most famous Bigfoot film of all time is nothing more than a, quote, incredible hoax, unquote. Long held up as evidence that Bigfoot exists and responsible for launching the multi-million-dollar Bigfoot industry.
Say that and without chuckling, because it's legitimately true.
It's crazy.
Yes,
it's reading it. It's insane, but it's true.
It's true.
It's a multi-million-dollar industry. The iconic, shaky, 59-second silent clip that was shot in 1967 shows an enormous hairy creature walking slowly through a wooded area in a forest near Bluff Creek, California. Quote, it really captured the imagination of billions of people over the past 6 decades, says Evans. Shot by a former rodeo star named Roger Patterson and his pal Robert Gimlin, the Patterson-Gimlin film had, for decades, been scrutinized by biologists, anthropologists, and even Hollywood costume examiners looking to debunk its authenticity. Over the years, no one had been able to definitively prove that the 16-millimeter movie was staged. All of that began to change in June of 2024, when Evans, who has directed a handful of critically acclaimed documentaries, received an email from a part-time instructor named Teresa Brooks at Olympic College, where he teaches courses in documentary filmmaking. Quote, after her father's death, says Evans, she'd found a canister of 16-millimeter film that had been sealed away for over half a century. She needed help getting it developed and wondered if I might be interested in doing something with it. Little did Evans know what had just been handed to him and its possible connection to the famed 1967 film. But as soon as he learned that Brooks's father, a man named Norm Johnson, who spent years running the film department for Seattle's Boeing Company, was connected to Patterson and Gimlin through his brother Dave. And it quickly became clear to Evans that Teresa's father had developed the Patterson-Gimlin film, which immediately made headlines around the world after the footage was released in 1967. It caught fire right away, said Evans. As someone said in our film, it went viral before the word even existed. Brooks told Evans that the reason the film had been locked away in a safe is because her mother had feared that her husband might have been involved with a short movie that she was convinced was probably a hoax. Quote, she was concerned, says Evans, that Norm might get in trouble for being involved with it, and told him to put away any evidence of his involvement and never speak about it again. Not long after receiving Brooks's email, Evans had the 16mm film developed, and days later found himself looking at a 40-second clip set in a location similar to the one in the 1967 movie, showing what appeared to be a slightly skinnier-looking Bigfoot walking into the woods. It took me maybe 9 months to realize what we really had, said Evans, who was able to determine by markings on the film that the footage had been shot in 1966, roughly a year before the now famous clip in the 59-second Bigfoot movie, when the Bigfoot movie was shot. What we eventually found out is that this new footage represented a trial run, a rehearsal that was never discarded. Realizing he had physical evidence that finally put to rest the question of whether Patterson's creation was a hoax, Evans knew he had the makings of an explosive documentary. He quickly went to work, he says, connecting the dots behind the making of the 1967 film and interviewing the cast of characters in Patterson's hometown of Yakima, Washington, who were involved with its creation, including 80-something-year-old Bob Hieronymus, who confessed to being the individual wearing the fake Bigfoot suit in the film. Evans, whose father had grown up in Yakima and heard plenty of gossip amongst locals about the film's authenticity, assumed that the family of Roger Patterson, who died in 1972, would, as they always had, refuse to speak about the film, which had generated millions of dollars in licensing fees over the years. But once Evans showed the new footage to Patterson's oldest son, Clint, a 66-year-old Montana rancher, he was eager to talk. Quote, he'd learned the film was a fake from his mother years earlier and had been wanting to come out and tell this story, says Evans. The lie had been really hard on him, and he was ready and wanting to get it out from under it. What makes the story even more complicated and tragic, says Evans, is that Patterson, who by all accounts truly believed in Bigfoot's existence, knew that he was dying in 1967 when he made and released the film. Quote, he knew he didn't have long to live and that he was going to be leaving his wife with 3 young kids to take care of. So he took a shot at leaving them some sort of legacy that could possibly help pay for the bills. The only piece of the mystery still unresolved is what happened to the Bigfoot suit that Patterson had painstakingly created. Quote, Clint told me that he actually saw his dad burn the suit out behind the family house one night in a big barrel. He basically spent about 30 minutes tossing it into the fire piece by piece. Asked if he believes this documentary would finally force people to admit that Bigfoot is nothing more than a mixture of folklore, misidentified animal sightings, and deliberate hoaxes, Evans isn't optimistic. Quote, I certainly wasn't some skeptic who set out to prove Bigfoot wasn't real. We were just focused on telling this story about the Patterson film. But I think for a lot of people who have so much history and belief tied up in this, it's going to be really hard to accept.
Hashtag panic stage.
That's interesting because by a lot of people, that's the standard of the Bigfoot knowledge. It all started with that film back in the day, but there's been so much debate over the years. Can you see a zipper? Does it look real, authentic? And I always thought it was grainy, right? Which much Bigfoot footage is, but you know, it looked pretty well done for that time being. So, I mean, this is some revelating stuff here, Bob. If this is really hooey.
I haven't seen the documentary yet. I heard it's really good. I'm going to have to put it on my list to hopefully watch it before next Tuesday now. It's no secret that I've always been a skeptic of the Patterson film. I've always been a skeptic of the Patterson film. Do I believe that Bigfoot and Sasquatch exist? Yeah, 100%. Do I believe that some guy got really, really lucky setting up a tripod in the woods and just happened to leave it there and caught a Bigfoot on camera? It's just too... I've never believed it. I think that he heard legends from the locals that was out there, and he created what people described as the suit. It's just too lucky.
Yeah, there's a lot to unpack in that article.
Yeah,
you know, the fact that you know, he says that Patterson did believe in Bigfoot creating this is an interesting twist behind it. That being said, I don't think this will change. Like you said, I don't think this will change people's minds one way or the other on whether or not the Patterson film is real.
Yeah.
You know, there's no suit, right?
Yep.
So I think a lot of people will be like, show me the suit. And if I see that, then maybe I'll believe it more. But, you know, I don't know, man. It's very odd, and I think what's going to make people even more skeptical, and what I'm already seeing online on forums and things, is that in this day and age, it is very easy to fake footage.
Yes.
And to make something look like it was, you know, it's 60 years old. And I think the fact that this is coming out now, whether coincidentally or just through happenstance, it's going to cause a lot of people to question whatever they see in this, because AI is so prevalent.
Yes.
And I think that's going to be detrimental. I know there's a lot of people already talking that have seen it that are saying that they think it's AI. But, you know, what can you do?
Right, of course. I don't know. I got to see the documentary. It'll be the first Bob After Dark movie review.
I did hear, interestingly enough, they showed it. It's only been shown once. They currently have no other plans of places to show it, which is also odd to me. I'm not saying this is fake. I'm not saying that the footage that he found is fake, but there's definitely some odd things going on in relation to just the distribution of it.
Right.
And like, okay, if you have this footage, you know, why isn't there even a trailer out with a clip?
Yes.
Just enough to tease people. I think that's a little bit worrisome to me.
Count. Let's see if we can get a hold of the filmmaker for that one and get an interview on the show.
Not? Yeah.
All right. You brought the One News article, right?
Yeah. Did you expected me to have more?
I was just curious. Maybe you were going to surprise me and be like, I got 3.
Bob, the day I come in with 3 articles.
That's fair. All right, Count, you think we could take a quick break?
Yeah.
All right. For our live fans, we'll be right back. And to our podcast fans, you're about to be hearing words from a show that you should be listening to. Stay tuned.
This is Mike.
This is Jacob.
And this is Matt.
We are Moth Boys,
A podcast on cryptids, conspiracies, and the unknown. You can catch us every other Monday on, actually, wherever you listen to your podcasts.
Thank you.
And we're back. Oh, hey there, Count and Steve.
Oh, hey,
hey
Bob.
What did you guys do during break?
Well, I was booking a great guest, somebody you just mentioned right now.
Who's that?
Mr. Ed. Oh. That's who you asked for, right?
I'm glad we're getting him on.
Yeah.
Well,
Next week.
What did you do during break?
I think I finally figured out the secret to time travel. I think I finally figured it out. If I figure it out, I'm going to come back to an earlier show and say hi from the early days because those were my favorite shows. So,
The good old years.
so
You just enjoyed it because that was way easier to screw with me back then.
it was way easier to mess with you. I feel like you'd be more skeptical if I was just to show up on a random show at the old studio and you'd be like, that's not him. So I'm going to try it. I'm going to give it a go. See if I can do it. So if I'm ever able to do it, go back, watch an old show. Maybe I'll show up.
Okay. Would you guys like to ask me what I did during break?
Yeah. What'd you do?
I love when you start fishing. Go for it.
You know, I took up a new hobby. I collect fire alarms now. You laugh, but I collect fire alarms now, like the ones you see on walls.
Yeah.
From people's houses?
No, I like.
Do you just steal? Do you also steal copper? Bob's got a pickup truck out back now just filled with copper and fire alarms.
All these houses are on fire now because there's
my
no
God,
alarm.
you guys are killing me.
Yeah,
It's
Hammond
an actual-
Fire Department's looking for you, Bob.
It is an actual like hobby that people do is collect these things. First off,
Okay, I'm not. You say whatever you need to say legally.
oh my God. All right, so you'd be surprised what I sometimes miss when doing this show. By sometimes I mean a lot, and that is I missed an anniversary of a very big paranormal encounter last year. In fact, it was the 50th anniversary last year, and I didn't cover it. Probably because we didn't have a show like half the year last year.
I don't think we're on.
For shame.
Yeah, so we're gonna cover it this week.
For the 51st anniversary.
The 51st anniversary, and that is the case of the Hopkinsville Goblins.
Yeah.
Or AKA the reason why Steve closes his blinds at night. Which we'll get to.
100% true.
All right, so I'm going to read you guys the quick gist of the story. This is from the Cryptid Wiki, and then we'll go from there. The Kelly Hopkinsville encounter, also known as the Hopkins Goblins Case, Hopkinsville Goblin Case, or lesser extent, the Kelly Green Men Case, is the name given to a series of connected incidents of alleged close encounters with presumably extraterrestrial beings. There were dozens of eyewitnesses to the incidents, which included two families present at the farmhouse and others in the area, other civilians, some of whom had no connection to the families at the farmhouse, and even one in another state. Perhaps most significantly, the witnesses who also included several local policemen, a state trooper who saw and heard strange phenomena such as unexplained lights in the night sky and noises the same night. The 7 people present in the farmhouse claimed that they were terrorized by an unknown number of creatures similar to gremlins, which have since often been referred to as the Hopkinsville Goblins in popular culture. The residents of the farmhouse described them as being around 3 feet tall, with an upright pointed ears, thin limbs. The being's legs were said to be almost non-functional or developed, even in a state of atrophy. Long arms, claw-like hands or talons. The creatures were silvery in color or wearing something metallic. Their movements on occasion seemed to defy gravity, with them floating above the ground and leaping in high places, and I quote, walked with swaying motion as though wading through the water. Although the creatures have never entered the house, they would pop up in the windows and at the doorway, waking the children in the house up to a historical frenzy. The families fled the farmhouse in the middle of the night to the local police station, and Sheriff Russell Greenwell noted that they were visibly shaken. The families returned to the farmhouse with Sheriff Greenwell and 20 officers, yet the occurrences continued. Police saw evidence of the struggle and the damage to the house, as well as seeing strange lights and hearing noises themselves. The witnesses additionally claimed to have used firearms to shoot at the creatures with little or no effect, and the house and surrounding grounds were extensively damaged during the incident. There have been no photographs of the Hopkinsville Goblin. In popular media, the supposed sightings were supposedly the inspired E.T., the movie, and there is a Pokemon named Sableye who is drawn after the Hopkinsville Hopkinsville Goblin.
It is. I didn't realize that. Yeah, it is. It totally is.
Yeah. I don't know this. I was hoping you'd be able to chime in and be
I'll
like,
show you a picture.
Okay, good. The sightings inspired the Hopkins, a type of gremlin from the Pathfinder tabletop role-playing game, as well as the spin-off Starfinder. And then they were also featured in the popular game MetaZoo. But these things, essentially the story goes, as we were reading from the Cryptid Wiki there. Oh, yeah, 100%.
Yeah,
that's pretty neat.
100%.
Yep. Thank you for having that on hand.
Yeah, you're welcome. Always play Pokemon Go. Got my
So these things essentially were attacking these families in a farmhouse.
Yeah.
They were causing stirs in windows, and as they were saying, like, the kids would look out the windows and these things were just in the window.
They would just pop up.
Yep. And they would be in the doorways, and these people, like, got into a gunfight with them.
Yeah.
And to no avail. Like, it didn't do anything.
Evidence of the gunfight.
Yes, there was actual evidence of the gunfight, too. Police showed up, and the police also claimed that there was something weird going on that night as well. So that is the gist of the story of the Hopkinsville Goblin.
Yeah, it's such a bizarre and honestly a kind of terrifying tale when you really think about it, Bob. I mean, it's these tiny creatures that just kind of terrorize this family.
Yep.
And being out there in Hopkinsville.
And you've been there before, right?
I've driven through Hopkinsville. Yeah, I've driven through there with OVW. Traveled all across the state of Kentucky, and so Hopkinsville is a place I'm familiar with. Have driven through there, haven't worked there, but drove through it. It's just a Kentucky town. It's a Kentucky country town. It's one of the bigger towns, but it's surrounded by farms. It's just kind of in the middle of nowhere in Kentucky, right by just a little bit north of the Tennessee border. But it's so, I mean, these people are used to seeing livestock. They're used to seeing wild animals. They're used to seeing these things. So they shouldn't have any kind of question as to, maybe this was, some kind of other animal coming up. And they just mistook it, because you would see it.
Right.
It's really terrifying. It's a really terrifying case.
Count, what do you think of it?
Well, I mean, anything staring in your window, Bob, is terrifying, but a little goblin or so equally terrifying. I'm not going to make a leprechaun joke, because a leprechaun staring in your window would be funny as well. But imagine being out there, like Steve said, you're just alone, no neighbors, it seems like, and out of nowhere, you got a little goblin staring in your window. That would spook the heck out of me.
And it doesn't surprise me that it resulted in a gunfight, because, as Steve said and pointed out, these people's whole lives are spent on the farm.
Yeah, right.
They know those woods better than anybody. They know what kind of
these are country folk.
They know what's in those woods. They know what kind of creatures live there. So if something's amiss, if there's something that has kind of scared them, then it must have logically been something that was unexplained to them.
Right.
And to top it off, not only was it in the woods, but it was at their own particular farm. So they know exactly what's going on there at all times. You have to.
Right. You're very familiar with your own land. You're familiar with the land surrounding your land. In those kinds of communities, you're very close to your neighbors. You at least know who your neighbors are. So you then also understand what their land is. So to have these creatures just show up, it was clearly terrifying enough for them to cause damage to their own house.
Yep.
Shooting shotguns at it. That, I mean, they saw something quantifiable there.
Yes. You okay over there, Count?
Yeah, I'm looking at text line from here and as well as the phone lines. Again, 219-845-1100.
How's the text lines?
Well, we got YouTube and we got text.
Okay, any comments?
No, but you're welcome to do it.
You're doing a great job over there, Pat.
Never ask if there's. I'll let you know.
I'm giving you heck.
The one thing when people says any phone calls there and then somebody says no,
that's death.
Never bring it up.
Never bring it up.
Yeah.
Okay, let's.
It's like you haven't been doing this for
8 years.
8 years.
Yeah,
crazy.
Technically 7. I haven't hit my 8 years yet. And then technically it's more of like 6.
No, it's not.
I'm not going to argue. We're not doing this argument every time.
I like the fact that you're just like bearing your own self. Like I'm just like 10 years, and you're like, well, 8, well, 6.
It's going down each time.
Well, we took a long time off in between things, so it's like it hasn't.
How
been
many years you been in, Bob?
Oh my God.
This is how many years you've been in versus how many matches have you had. This is, there's gonna be 6 people that pop for that.
Yeah, there's a couple people that are gonna know that, and they're going to enjoy that.
Yeah. How many matches you got, brother?
Okay, back to the goblin story. So if you go to Hopkinsville these days, they actually have a con called Goblin Con.
Wow.
Where they celebrate this case, and they have like a little convention where they talk to relatives of the families that are still around and get their own opinions. And
not a lot going on in that part of Kentucky.
They had
I'm gonna get a lot of heat for that, but yeah.
Well, I mean, you've been there, I haven't.
Yeah, not a lot going on down there.
They had a big celebration at their community center last year for the 50th anniversary, where they had the newspaper articles that were written back then were on display in the whole nine, which I find fascinating. And their local newspaper did a big write-up last year talking about revisiting it after the 50th anniversary. And it's what I find interesting about the case is usually when you have a case, there's always the skeptical point of view, or like right there in front of you, where it's like, well, skeptics believe this.
Yeah. There really isn't anything.
I haven't, and I'm sure there's a skeptical point of view to this case, but how do you argue with 20 officers, including the chief, 2 families? And, I mean, the police didn't outright see the goblins.
Right. But
they did say that they saw strange lights and they heard noises coming from the woods that night.
Yes, which, again, so when you're talking about paranormal encounters,
yes,
whether it's ghosts or whether it's cryptids or whether it's UFOs and aliens, you have your unofficial tier list of credible witnesses.
Yes.
General public, way down low. Police officers, however, law enforcement, first responders, military, way up at the top.
Yes.
The fact that all of these police witnessed things tangentially related to these goblins, and didn't have explanations for them, I think lends even more credence to this being something out of the ordinary, because they're trained to observe.
Yes,
they're trained to see danger and to to analyze it as they're working. They saw lights, they heard sounds, things that they couldn't identify rightfully. That is also equally spectacular about this. I mean, it's everything about it. It's just bizarre. It's absolutely bizarre because, like you said, there's no hard line of, well, it could have been this over goblins, or whatever they were.
Whatever they were.
Yeah.
That's the thing. A lot of speculation that what they were dealing with were extraterrestrial. The concept, by the way, the concept of the little green men came from this case.
Yes.
Wow.
So when you hear the term little green men and they're referring to extraterrestrials,
Martians,
this case is actually where that comes from, which I think's interesting.
You know what's one of the most interesting things about this is about Kentucky in general.
Mm-hmm.
And I mentioned this to you briefly when we talked on the phone.
Yeah. Yep.
Having spent a lot of time in Kentucky, you learn very quickly that it's a very cave dense state.
Yes.
There's mountains along southern Kentucky, but all underneath that entire state are just vast cave systems. A lot of them are unexplored. And there's an interesting line that kind of spans the state of Kentucky of these caves and this cave system. And you can find that a lot of times at places where you see that there's cave entrance points, there's bizarre occurrences that happen along it. Very similar to like ley lines when you look at a ley line.
Yeah.
They are close to a Hopkinsville is very close to a state park with very large rivers, very large waterways, and also caves. So whatever it is may be related, again, speculatively speaking.
Sure.
May be related to the underground cave systems as well, all across Kentucky, which brings up an even more terrifying point of what's in the caves, Yeah. And newer listeners don't know how I am. I'm very much a fact-based person. I'm very much a science-based person. When I do paranormal investigations, when I do investigations at haunted locations, everything I do is very scientific-based. I don't go off feelings. I don't go off hunches. I don't go off of, intuition. It's all very science-based. For me, there's enough scientific correlation between the cave systems in Kentucky and these bizarre kind of paranormal things that there's got to be something to it. I riding along, going town to town. I'd ride with one of the wrestlers, and this was actually something that came up. And he was like, if you look, all these caves, there's always something right near them. And I think that might be something. It may be related, but they never found out where these things went. Maybe they went in the caves.
I want to point out like a terrifying image in your brain, and this may cause everybody to start closing their curtains at night. But imagine opening up your curtain and there's just this little creature chilling there just staring at you.
Yeah, it's a terrifying thought. It's literally, I heard of this story first when I was maybe 5 years old. I always read the UFO books and the alien books and stuff, and this was always one of those top stories.
Oh, sure.
Terrified me. I distinctly remember one of the books had an illustration of one of these aliens looking through a window. Terrified me to this day, keep all of, as soon as it gets dark, as soon as it starts to get dark, all the windows closed. It's a creepy sight.
Plumber guy chiming in. Who's from the region? I think for comment section, but we're from the region here in the
minus
studio.
Steve, but we are from. Me and you are from the region.
I've got family.
He's got honorary status in the region.
Yes.
Don from Hawaii. Very interesting show indeed. And then also very interesting to see Big Bear talking about these paranormal things.
Yeah. Don. It shows that Don's too focused on Steve Micheals right now. Don's too focused on Steve Micheals. I'm in his head.
Are we doing a thing right now?
Uh-oh.
Is this somebody that we should be aware of that's in our chat?
Yeah. Do you know what? Can I have a second to address this?
You can have a second to address this.
I don't
I'm
want
to invite this person to call in. By the way.
Okay.
So please, if you're who is this? Don
Lee Jr. This is Don Lee Jr.
Don. Steve's calling you out right now. Our hotline is open 219-845-1100. That's 219-845-1100. So somebody's listening to this show and saying that they're surprised that you're talking about these things.
Yeah, look, here's the deal. Let me clarify something. Okay, Don Lee Jr. Is a green as goose poop wrestler from Hawaii, and his dad was a famous wrestler in Hawaii. Whatever, I don't care. I'm from the mainland. I'm from a place that matters. I'm from Chicago. So here's
the Steve Micheals opinion does not reflect the Bob After Dark opinion of the great people of Hawaii.
No, it's fine. It's fine. Look, here's the deal. Today, about an hour before I left my house, found out Don challenged me for my Unify Heavyweight Championship on April 2nd. But Don, overconfidently, also put his Corona Premier Intercontinental Championship on the line as well. And he has requested that our match be title versus title. So, look, Don, I get it. It's you got nothing else to do in Hawaii. It's like the middle of the day there. Go find some friends. Go do something of worth with your life instead of sitting on your computer. Okay.
I appreciate you watching the show, Don.
Okay, yeah. For Bob appreciates it. Okay, I'm not burying your show.
No, I was gonna say I appreciate that you're watching my show, Don.
It's that one. That's which the hard cams. This one.
That
straight
one's
ahead.
there you go.
Okay, Don. It doesn't matter what you say to me, what you think of me. I'm bringing your title home to Chicago after I beat you in the middle of that ring on April 2nd. It's just that simple.
He won't
I'm sorry.
even call in.
No, he won't. He's too scared to call in. Okay? He's just a little baby. Okay? Don Lee Jr. is a little baby. And he doesn't deserve to be on the same airway as Steve Micheals. He doesn't deserve to be in the same ring as Steve Micheals, to be honest. I'm sorry to take this off track.
No, you're fine. You talked about Mr. Ed for the first 15 minutes of the show, so
he caught me off guard a little bit there. Don, your opinion doesn't matter at all to Steve Micheals.
We have a caller.
I'm out here. Let me put this on. I don't know. No, it could be anybody.
Wow.
Caller, you're on the air.
Wow. Hello.
Hi, who is this? Where you from?
This is Don.
Oh, you called
this
in,
Don. This is Don from Hawaii.
Hi, Don from Hawaii. This is This is probably the longest distance call we've had in a long time.
Well, he was called out, Bob.
I figured I had to give airwave space to somebody. I'm not going to let Steve just talk all of this without giving the chance to
Unbelievable, Bob.
What? It's fair to let him.
Disrespect to me.
It's not disrespect. I figured it would be okay. It was figured I'd give him a chance to defend himself.
Okay, do you know what? Fine. Let's hear. What do you got to say, Don?
Don, remember that the FCC does listen to the show.
I've been the nicest.
I've been like the nicest person over at Oos Wrestling, man. The nicest. I have never crossed paths with you, but it's time, man. My legacy, it means a lot to me. You want to talk about how green I am? Okay, fine. Yeah, I'm young. I'm 21. About to be 22 in April. And what I want for my birthday? I think it's that world championship right in front of you.
Don, let me smarten you up on something.
Talk to me,
okay?
brother.
I'm going to smarten you up on something.
What's up? Yeah, go ahead.
You are lucky. You are lucky to be put in the position that you're being put in, to step in the ring with an internationally known superstar. Okay? I have wrestled all over the U.S. I have wrestled all over the globe. This championship is the greatest thing that has ever happened in my career. This is my legacy. Okay? Oos wants to talk about family. You guys want to talk about family. You guys want to talk about the Polynesian legacy. I am now a part of it. Steve Micheals is now a part of it. And as a matter of fact, Steve Micheals is now the face of it. Whether you like it or not, I don't care. Steve Micheals is going to show up on April 2nd at Hawaiian Brian. Steve Micheals is going to defeat you. Steve Micheals is going to beat you within an inch of your career. And Steve Micheals is going to be a double champion at Oos Wrestling. And I will show up here the following week with both titles, one here, and I will laugh. I will laugh at you, Don. You don't have to like it, but you got to live with it.
Do you have any comeback to that, Don?
Steve, we've never crossed paths. Like, our paths have been so different from each other, man. But the one thing that I know, just deep down inside, you've grinded. Like you said, international superstar this. You're going to beat me within an inch of my career. But, man, I'm young. I got to live my life. I got to take chances. I got to take risks. And April 2nd, man, the Unified World Championship, as much as it means the world to you, it means everything to me. Not just the world, this entire damn universe. You think it's going to be so easy because I'm so young. But Steve, it's not going to be that easy, man. I'm going to show you what the real deal is all about. So come April 2nd, I hope you're ready. I know I'm ready for you. And whatever happens, happens. But the real deal will walk out world champion and intercontinental champion. That's all I got to say. That's all I got to say.
I'll see you there, Don, and I will. I'm not going to take it easy on you. I don't care what you've done in your small career. I don't care who you know. I don't care who your daddy is. At the end of the day, it's going to be you versus me in that ring.
Hey, you better watch what you say about my dad.
Look, hey, this is going to hurt your feelings, kid. But until I got to the islands, I didn't have a damn clue who your dad is, and I still don't care.
All right, Bob. I think it's in the best interest. Maybe we
cut this before things get a little too hot.
Go ahead. Go ahead and cut it.
Don, we appreciate it. We appreciate the call, Don.
Thank you, Don.
Thank you.
I'll see you on
I
April
appreciate
2nd.
you guys.
All right.
Yeah.
I just didn't want to go that. I didn't want that to go any.
Hey, I'm sorry. I'm sorry. We had to do that. I had to set that kid straight. Okay, I had to set him straight. I'm sorry we got off track.
It's fine.
I'm sorry.
Yeah.
Well, let's try and get back to business.
Yeah.
About these goblins.
You might want. Do you want to take a second commercial break there?
No, we're good. We're gonna finish.
You don't have another commercial to put in, do you?
No.
Okay. Well, fine.
Hey, Phoenix, did you ever think in your career you'd be answering a call from Hawaii?
No, and that was quite the call, but I think we're back on track now,
Are we
right?
back on track? I think we're back on track. We're
All
good.
right, okay.
Again, I apologize to you, Bob. Panic, I apologize
It's fine.
to you.
It's
To
fine.
the fans watching, I apologize that you had to see that side of Steve Micheals when we're all just trying to have a good time here.
Yeah.
I get a
I
little
invited
fired
him
up.
to call. I
I
had
know.
to.
I get a little bit
Bob's
fired
fault,
up when,
basically.
when
I'm not really-
I
I'm not- I
have
don't-
to,
yeah,
have
I'm
to
not
talk
mad.
about my
Stirring the
calls.
pot.
I'm not stirring the pot as I am.
Is this because I brought up Mr. Ed?
No.
Is this because I was like, oh, we should have Mr. Ed?
I
Is
just
Mr. Ed a
think
fake?
that it's fair to give the opposing side a chance to speak on the show. And I hope that he goes and shares.
Bob's just following the FCC rules. No, I get it. That's hide behind government regulations, Bob.
He's no Howard.
To be fair, maybe this guy will share the show now,
Bob
and
is-
I can make it big and wide.
Unlike Howard Stern, Bob bows to the FCC
Listen, I've only swore on the radio once.
on the morning show.
The morning.
Steve, he gets invited once on the morning show to plug this show, and then he swears on the morning show.
And then they hit the toilet flush button and they were like, get out.
They never asked him back on. I don't know.
Bob was like, I thought it was a morning zoo, man.
Mad cow over here.
So, final verdict on the goblins.
Oh yeah, that's what we're doing tonight.
Yeah, not Mr. Ed or your.
Or leprechauns, even though it's St. Patrick's Day. Whatever. Continue.
We postponed this. People were looking forward to us
I
doing
know,
this
I know.
episode.
Goblins, leprechauns.
Yeah, kind of the same. Are goblins fae?
No, we don't know what these are. Extraterrestrial, interdimensional,
I mean in
cryptid. We have
general.
another caller.
Yeah, let's take this call here.
Call, you're on the air.
It's not a Hawaiian.
All fired up right now, Bob.
Whoa!
Oh,
John's all fired up right now, Steve.
You got John fired.
You know
up.
what? You know what? You pay my trip to Hawaii. You know what, bro? And you sit on the side because I'm styling and profiling right now as I'm listening to you talk to this little creep over there. That thinks he's gonna whoop you. You know, he's not going to whoop you. All you do is you sit down there and I'm going to whoop him.
Wow.
I'm going to whoop him for you, Steve. How do you like that?
My man.
I got my dumbbells right now. I'm doing my 100 push-ups. I'm ready, bro. April 2nd, I will be in Hawaii right by your side. You got that?
Yeah, see, this is what it's all about.
Mr.
This is what
Ed or
it's
no
all about,
Mr.
the Bob
Ed?
After Dark family. Huh?
Bob will
Yeah,
be
That's
there
right.
too.
You come for one of us, you come for all of
I'll
us.
be in Boston,
Kick
unfortunately.
his dupa. Kick his dupa. All right, we'll see you. Have a good evening.
Thank you, John.
He called him a little creep.
I called him a little creep. It's probably a really nice guy.
No, he's a little creep.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
We should do that thing where we all walk out to the ring behind Steve. Bob After Dark, accompany him down the ramp.
Yes,
Yeah.
that would be great.
Yeah,
You have experience being
You
a
still
valet.
got your rope, right?
Yeah, you get one. You know what I'm talking about.
Bob still needs that one more match.
No, I'm
Yeah.
good. All right. Anyways,
You could be the Mark Jindrak of my evolution.
the fact that you, one, mentioned Mark Jindrak, and two, the fact that you mentioned the Mark Jindrak in evolution thing is the deepest cut I didn't expect on my show ever.
That's what I'm about, Bob. I'm about deep cuts. I'm about things you don't expect.
Welcome to Bob After Wrestling, everybody.
You go right, I go left. You zig, I zag.
But so we don't know what these goblins are: cryptid, interdimensional, extraterrestrial, fae, I guess.
I think that's interesting though. I always naturally assumed that they were aliens.
Yes.
I never they're called goblins, but I always just in my head just assumed that they were alien.
What I want to point out before we call it is the story goes that their gunfire against these things were useless,
Yes.
which is probably the scariest aspect to the story.
Very much.
The fact that there was a gunfight and the story goes that it had no effect on these things makes me think of the story that we talked about a little bit ago on here when we covered the the alien invasion of the Russian airspace.
Yes.
When they were firing things at these things and nothing happened, and they were controlling the nuclear bombs at the
Right.
time to prove a point. it really makes you wonder how powerless you are in a situation, and makes me want to close my curtains tonight.
Yeah, I think everyone listening to this show will be closing their curtains tonight, because this is just the thought of this. Yeah. Just the thought of this is terrifying.
Absolutely. All right, Count Panic, do you have any?
I mean, I just think we should all take a breather. Everybody, thanks for watching, but it's all about the green and St. Patrick's Day. Go out there and find a leprechaun. I don't know.
Steve.
Yes, Bob.
Do you have anything you'd like to plug?
What don't I like to plug? I would like to. I have 3 shows coming up. Let me pull this up here because I have such a busy schedule. Clearly, we already talked. April 2nd, Oos Wrestling, title versus title. Steve Micheals versus that creep Don Lee. My Unify World Championship versus his Corona Premier Intercontinental Championship. They're both coming home with me. Spoiler. And then on April 11th, you can catch Steve Micheals back at Rocket Pro Wrestling in Joliet, Illinois, at St. Joseph Park. RPW is on fire right now. Every single show we've been doing has been doing amazing stuff. Yes, Bob.
I almost said we probably should get some water, but you clarified.
Yes. Okay. No, not literally on fire. No, we're doing some amazing things, having some great shows, great matches, great wrestlers. Come on out for that if you're in the Chicagoland area. You won't regret it. And then also just announced today, on April 25th, Steve Micheals makes his triumphant return to 907 Wrestling up in Anchorage, Alaska for Arctic Comic-Con. Steve Micheals will be wrestling at Arctic Comic-Con in Anchorage, Alaska for 907 Pro. Thrilled to be going back up there. Absolutely love that company. It's a beautiful, beautiful part of the world. Beautiful part of the country. And so Steve Micheals will be up there. I'm racking up the flyer points, Bob.
That's
Making
good.
towns.
Making towns.
Yeah, it's. I'm grateful for it. And I'm gonna say it. You're gonna see Steve Micheals with this Unify World Championship at all 3 of those shows, because I'm gonna beat Don Lee Jr.
I have something going on that I would like to plug. On April 19th, I am going to be at the Soda Hop Brewery and Tap Room. That's at One Union. Oh God, this is hard to read. One Union Special Plaza Suite 113 in Huntley, Illinois. I will be at their metaphysical market promoting.
Alliterative.
What?
It's alliterative.
Yes, I will be there promoting Bob After Dark, and I will be promoting the new Bob After Dark clothing line, which we just launched yesterday.
I saw that.
Yeah, it kind of just happened. I had the shirt design in my head, and it happened, and now I can call myself a shirt graphic designer person.
I'm so glad to see it, because I have been wanting so long to make bootleg Bob shirts, and if I could make them cheaper and of worse quality and just sell those at my merch table, it'll make me so happy.
Yeah, thank you, Steve. So
you'll see them soon at ProWrestlingTees.com/Chicago Bear Hug.
And you could go to use the discount code Bob After Dark for 20% off on your order. But no, so we just launched a new clothing, I don't want to call it clothing line, because it's not like I'm designing clothes. I'm just designing some T-shirts, but paranormal apparel, normal clothing.
So these are not necessarily a Bob After Dark logo, but this one I saw.
This is a brand new design.
But design that's kind of like a fun paranormal shirt.
Yes, it's the K2 meter and with the lights that all light up in hearts, and I heart the K2 meter lights. Ghost hunting.
I did see it. I do love the design. You need to add the penny in it. Because there's no penny in that design, and you just need the one Just add half a penny just wedged in to the
For
button.
like the 3. Maybe my next design will be only real ones remember the penny.
I didn't see a toggle switch on this one. That's all I'm saying.
It'd be like the Calvin Klein of the paranormal.
Absolutely. We got to design you. We got to get the updated Count Panic design so we can start selling shirts of that.
Sell trunk of my car.
Making towns Count Panic.
Yes.
I still have the Bob After Dark basement tapes.
Oh my God.
Those have not sold at all.
All right. Well, folks, thank you so much for watching and listening to another episode of Bob After Dark. On behalf of Steve and Count Panic, we just want to say goodnight to all of you. Good night to Mother. Sweet dreams to you. Dad, wherever you are in the universe, I hope you're happy, comfortable doing whatever it is that you want to be doing. And to Tiff, I hope you have the sweetest dreams of them all. Good night, everybody. And remember, the 2 most important rules of Bob After Dark are not all who wander are lost, and as above, so below. Until next time.
Memoriam Development.